O'Hara's Irish Pale Ale.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I have got a beer from the O'Hara's Brewery. Now this one is quite a special one for me because back in the early 2000s my mum and my sister moved to Ireland, to a place called Carlow. It's a county in Southern Ireland, and my mum didn't last long. My mum's Irish. She's born and bred in Ireland. She come over here in the 50s, and she's no longer with us now, but she moved back to Ireland in the early 2000s. Fucking hated it. She used to ring me up and be on the phone. Jesus, I hate the Irish people, the horrible people. Yeah, work that one out. But yeah, she moved back after 2 years. But when she was there, she lived in a place called Nerney. And my brother-in-law's from Nerney. And they've all moved back now. But this stuff was brewed just down the road in a place called Bagnallstown, not too far, about a 10-minute drive. And I used to go over there regular in the early 2000s, and I never had a drop of this stuff. When I went to Ireland, I went over there a few times to see my mum and all that, and all that was there was, you had the Guinness obviously, which was great, and you had Smithwick's, and then you had the lagers. It was either Harp or Budweiser. It was fucking disastrous. So I just drank Guinness for the whole week or so that I was there. But I didn't know this existed, and I didn't know that Carlow is the malt growing centre of Ireland. It's where the best malt comes from. They've got a lot of arable land there, and they grow some of the best malt, and they've used it in this. So I'm intrigued to see what this is like. I really had to hunt this down. I got a mate in Slovenia who buys this in his local supermarket, you know, and you can't get it over here. I've not seen this at all anywhere. I had to get this online from Beowulf, I think this came from. But he said it's really good, and I'm intrigued to see what this tastes like, because Ireland is renowned for its stouts and its porters, not so much anything else really. I mean, they had a go at Harp and shit like that, but craft brewing in Ireland now is picking up. There's the White Hag Brewery that do some real good ones. They're from, I think, the west coast of Ireland, but this is a east coast, an Irish East Coast Pale Ale or dry hopped IPA. So technically it is an East Coast, but not as we know it. Jim, let's see what all this is about. Right, as I say, this is from the O'Hara's Brewery based in Carlow. It is a 330ml bottle. It's 5.2%. It's an Irish Pale Ale. Now that's a new one on me. Don't know what it's like. It's dry hopped IPA. I don't know what style that is. Could be sort of British style. But on the top it says IPA with full lasting bitterness, followed by a zesty citrus burst of aroma. How can you have aroma in the flavour? I don't know. Yeah, it contains wheat, barley, malt, water and yeast. Cool. I'm going to say it's 5.2%. Let's get it open and see what's going on. Right, bottle is open. Cap is just a plain gold cap. On the nose, out of the bottle. Wow. Some spicy yeast esters. Really nice spicy yeast esters. Some floral hops. And some vague malt. But the spice on this really does shine through. It smells interesting. Let's get it into the glass. I don't know what glass it's supposed to be drunk out of, but let's see. Now this is an Irish IPA. Absolutely new one on me. Really is. It's not a pale ale. I thought it was a pale ale. It's not. It's an IPA. Irish IPA. An East Coast Irish IPA. I bet the Yanks would love that, wouldn't they? Looks nice. It's a slight haze to it. Fair bit of carbonation, but the bubbles are quite small. I'm not sure whether they put nitrogen in there or not, but let's have a look on the nose. Oh yeah, it smells amazing. There's some nice citrusy hops on this. You've got to remember with Ireland, brewing with hops, in the grand scheme of things, is quite a new thing. Up until the sort of, I think it's the mid 1700s, they never brewed with hops. It was like, you know, they brew what the Dutch or the Belgians would call gruit, and that's basically anything brewed without hops for the flavouring. And yeah, I can only imagine what that tasted like. But yeah, so brewing with hops in Ireland until, you know, Guinness moved over there, or Arthur Guinness moved his sort of brewery over there, that really took off with the hops. There it is in the glass. It looks really nice, I have to say. It's a hazy sort of golden straw colour. Very nice. One finger head, white head, tightly packed bubbles. Let's get it down the hatch. Slante, as they say in Ireland. Not bad. Let's just have another go. That's not bad actually, but I've just realised something. I've been calling it an IPA, but it's an Irish Pale Ale, which they've called an IPA. So technically, IPA stands for Irish Pale Ale. Obviously different to your traditional IPA, so they've sort of done a play on words there, but it's a dry hopped Irish Pale Ale, not an IPA as we know it. Technically you could call it an IPA because it's Irish Pale Ale. Yeah, you get the gist. But this isn't bad. Very fruity. Little bit of floral notes on that, and a touch of spice. I'm getting a little bit of spice now. I'm assuming it's either coming from the yeast or the hops, but it's quite nice. No big malty finish. It's like a long sort of hoppy, bitter finish. It's a strange one because they've called it an Irish Pale Ale, and technically it doesn't taste like a pale ale that I've tasted, and it doesn't taste like an IPA. It's like they say, I mean, they've called it an Irish IPA, so technically it's its own style, but it's definitely different. I will give it that. No big malty aftertaste on it. A little bit of spice, as I said, some floral notes and some fruity notes, and the fruit is a little touch of grapefruit, a little, I wouldn't say a lot, but a little touch of tropical fruit on there, but there isn't a great deal. They say they've used American hops in this, and they've dry hopped it with American hops, but they're quite subtle. And altogether, and now I'm getting the biscuit malt on the end. There's a little touch of biscuity malt on that, and it's quite nice. It's not bad, I have to say. There's elements of this that reminded me of Goose Island. and in a good way. Goose Island I thought was shit, but I'm imagining the hops that they've used in Goose Island they've used in this as well. Sadly, neither brewers have made that known and what hops they're using. But if you like Goose Island, you'll like this. I didn't like Goose Island, but I don't mind this. It's got a lovely mouthfeel. The carbonation on this is very subtle. I mean, just look at can you see the carbonation on that? And that translates into the mouthfeel too. It's really nice, really smooth, not obtrusive at all. It's really nice. So what's the verdict? Well, I have to say this is my first Irish pale ale, and that's what they've called it, and if that's what they want to call it, then fucking crack on. It's nice. I've compared it to Goose Island IPA, but it's so much better. Goose Island IPA, I did not like that at all. This has got the sort of elements of the good points of Goose Island, and all in all, with that mouthfeel, I mean, that mouthfeel is really nice. It's super smooth. I mean, you might not think it with the carbonation that you can see in there, but they're really small, tightly packed bubbles, and that's always a good sign. And I like it, and I'm going to give that an 8.5 out of 10. I'd definitely recommend it if you can find it. Now, if you go to Slovenia, you can get this in the supermarket. I was in Carlo, as I say, from, you know, on the odd occasions from 2000 to 2003, I never saw any of this at all in Carlo, at 10 minutes up the road. I mean, the pubs that were around at the time, they weren't making anything about this at all. Or O'Hara's even is a new one on me. But it's nice. I'll keep an eye out for these and I'll try some more. I've been looking at their core range, and they do a stout and they do a lot of collaborations as well. So keep your eye open for them, because I'm going to try and get hold of some more of their stuff. Really nice. And apparently one of my mates who lives in Slovenia, he gave me one of their beers. I mean, it's the worst thing ever, because we was out and he handed me a bottle of it, and I think I must have drunk it on the way home, and I don't remember it, but he said the best one, because I showed him a picture of it when I got it, and he said the best one is the one with the SARS hops, and I'm assuming it's a lager of some description, but it's going to be good. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10, recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.